What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch.
I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to be looking at UFC Fight Night Sarukian versus Gamrot. We're going to be looking at the co-main event between Magny and Shavkat Rakhmonov. But before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view. And there's a whole bunch of good fights coming, so don't forget to tune in. And yeah, let's get right into it, Jeff. What we got?
So we got this Haitian sensation, Magny. He's ranked number 10. He's 26-8, 34 years of age. He's 6'3" and an 80-inch reach. He's coming off back-to-back wins against Max Griffin and Jeff Neal. And we got Shavkat Nomad Rakhmonov. He's 15-0. He's ranked number 15. He's 27 years of age. He's 6'1" and a 77-inch reach. He's also coming off back-to-back wins, but against Carlston Harris and Michel Pereira.
Man, I really like this fight for both guys, to be honest. Obviously, they're trying to push Rakhmonov because he's a big prospect. He's undefeated. And only in his fourth UFC fight, they give him a veteran in Magny. But honestly, I don't like this matchup for him, because from what we've seen in his last two fights, he likes to strike. He can grapple, but a lot of his takedowns rely on trips, And it's very hard to trip someone that's that tall, because and Magny's not, he's not someone you can trip. You really got to take him down, which can happen. I mean, we've seen people defeat him that way. Most recently, I think it was Chiesa who just took him down and stuff like that. But I don't think Rakhmonov, he won't be able to do that. I don't think. Magny, on the other hand, he's going to be the longer fighter and the taller fighter. He's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage and a 2-inch height advantage. And he fights to his strength, He's a long-rangey guy. He likes to jab. His straights are really long. And I honestly didn't like what I saw from Shavkat when he was in the clinch and on the fence. I feel like both Harris and Pereira, they were able to push him there and kind of keep him there. And I think Magny's going to see that and kind of try to initiate the clinch and kind of keep Shavkat against the fence to kind of nullify his striking. We haven't seen much of his takedown defense of Rakhmonov's. We've seen what he can do on the ground. He has a good submission game. And, obviously he got knockout power. All his fights are finishes. That's pretty impressive, I think. And but we haven't seen in the UFC his takedown defense, how he does when he's on the back foot, when, he's trying to defend the takedowns. So there's a lot of questions that are going to be answered, I think, especially with the veteran like Magny, who's pretty well-rounded, I think. I don't think he's exceptional at anything, really, but I think he's really well-rounded, really solid everywhere.
I think this fight is also pretty close. Well, I don't know if you thought it was close or not. You said
I think
it was
it's really close. Way closer than the odds, man, because Magny's a plus 320.
It's much closer than that, too. I do have confidence that Shavkat can
knock him out.
I think he could get a stoppage. Yeah, I think so.
On the feet, right?
Yeah, just because the way I feel like Magny always leaves the center open, his guard is too wide. I feel, and so I think it might allow maybe some jabs, maybe some straights to come through. I mean, he got dropped by a straight.
That's true.
And so so I think it's very possible that he could get dropped. I don't know if he'll get I don't think he'll get out cold or anything, but I think he could get TKO'd. But Magny, yeah, he works his strength, like you said. He works the jab pretty well, and he might do the clinch thing. But if I'm Shavkat, right, I feel like I have to see that coming. As Magny being a well-rounded fighter, I have to know that he's gonna try to expose you, right? Especially as an experienced fighter as well. He's gonna play smart. So I feel like he's a little well-rounded too.
Who? Shavkat?
Yeah. I feel like he's a little more well-rounded. He's not a pure striker. He has a pretty good submission game, like you said. So I would take the gamble on it. I think Rakhmonov gets a TKO.
Jeff, it's not a gamble when you're a minus 390 favorite, bro.
Oh shoot!
Magny's a big
underdog. Yeah, I think I read that wrong, but
yeah, I know, I get what you mean. So yeah, I mean, for Magny, I think the thing he has going for him the most is his experience, and I think his pressure. Even if he doesn't clinch, I mean, he likes to push guys back. And obviously, like you mentioned, he got knocked down in his last fight against Griffin, and he was doing the same thing where he was pressuring, and Griffin just kind of stepped down and threw his two down the middle, and it dropped him pretty bad, bro. He literally went from standing to laying down in 1 second, bro. So
yeah,
it did not look good for him. And we've seen Shavkat; he got power, bro. So, but I don't know. I feel like he probably should win. I mean, everybody seems to think he is because of the odds. It's pretty big. But I think Magny. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Magny by decision. I think he's able. I think it's not going to be a really fun fight for him, but I think he's going to do what it takes to win, and I think he's going to kind of nullify all of his strengths by kind of keeping him in the clinch, keeping him tight, and kind of like keep trying for the takedowns, stuff like that, to kind of like bother him. But I don't think he'll be super successful anywhere. But I think he'll do like just enough to kind of win that kind of slow decision. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, he has a big chance to derail kind of one of the biggest hype trains, I think. There's a lot of hype behind this guy. He came in same time Hamzat did, but obviously Hamzat, people, I guess, gravitated towards him a little more. But I mean, this guy's kind of building his name up, and now I mean, he's fighting a really solid guy, Magny, someone that Hamzat actually dug, bro. It's like, so Magny's a solid guy, bro. And I think he's going to win by decision. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Shavkat wins, just because he's so solid. Like you say, he's solid overall. But I just think we have not seen anything of like his wrestling or his wrestling defense,
Yeah.
Like his takedowns have been like mostly trips.
Or how we've seen it before, experience, prevails, Like most of the time, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Like sometimes some of these young fighters, I just prove to be too much for these veterans. Give it be age or some other factors as well.
Yeah, because I mean we know who Magny is now. He's been in the UFC a long time. His last fight he passed with most wins in welterweight history, I think. Now he has one more than GSP. So he's been in the game a long time, and I mean he's never been champion. And in my opinion, no offense to him, I don't think he ever will become champion. So we know who he is, right? Now I think this will see where Shavkat is, Is he going to be a future champion, like people say he is? Or is he going to get stopped in his tracks here? Regardless, I think win or lose, if he loses, I don't think this is the end for him, He's super young. I mean, it'd be his first professional loss. There's still a lot for him, left, So
yeah, for sure.
But I think Magny wins by decision. I think he'll kind of pull out the veteran tricks and kind of keep it a close fight, but ultimately win by decision. What you think? You said Rakhmonov by what?
I said Rakhmonov by TKO. I think he'll get the finish.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Okay. It's a bold one, but
the fact that it's a 3-round fight, I don't know. I feel like it's an advantage for Magny, bro. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can see that too, but it could be a very like pedestrian, like kind of. Is that what it's called? Pedestrian. Yeah. Like a very. It could be like
that's
that
true.
Too.
Yeah.
Like nothing really happens.
I think if Magny wins, it's probably gonna be like that.
Yeah,
but I think if he gets knocked out or something, it's gonna be a pretty good highlight. I think, especially because Magny doesn't get finished by strikes that often, So yeah. All right, guys. So those were our thoughts, our predictions. I have Neil Magny by decision. I think he's gonna come in with the upset. I think he's just too experienced. He's gonna come in with some veteran stuff and kind of grind out a decision win. And Jeff thinks Shavkat's gonna win by knockout. He thinks he's gonna be able to finish the veteran Neil Magny. Let us know down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who you think is gonna win? It's gonna be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in, and we'll see you next week for UFC 276. Adesanya versus
Cannonier.
Yes, sir.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.